The tranquil water of Loch Lean doesn't reflect the turmoil that's taking place between the Killarney District Motor Club and the RIAC, the motorsport's governing body. In the blissful sunshine, temperatures have been rising as the event's new European Championship status has brought organisational restrictions that Clerk of the Course Mike Marshall had hoped to change. As those changes haven't been sanctioned, the club have taken the dramatic late decision to forgo their European and international status in order to run the event in the order that they feel to be safe for their event. The Dunlop Tarmac Championship is currently one of the strongest in Europe, benefiting from its policy of allowing Group A, Group N and modified cars. European and World Championships only allow A and N, so maybe we're better to steer clear of the FIA's restrictions. But in doing so, we may close the door to the ultimate goal of a World Championship event in Ireland. It's unfortunate these problems weren't solved before everyone came to Killarney. But anyway, John Price is happy with the late change.
I'm not here to run at the back of the field for safety reasons. I'm here to get a top 10 result. Whether it's European Championship or not, I think sense prevailed and the decision was reversed and we start in our original start positions.
With the politics thankfully forgotten for the time being, we can concentrate on the rallying and Fisher's fabulous new car. Bertie, 4 in a row in Killarney. What are the chances of making it 5 in the new car?
Well, obviously it is a new car and it's the first time up Malls Gap or in fact up any special station tarmac with it, so but I don't know, you know, if everything falls our way we're as good a chance as the next one probably.
McKinstry's Subaru is like new following its heavy Circuit of Ireland accident. Bertie isn't the only one with a new toy to play with.
I'm delighted to have the opportunity to launch the Ford Formula 2 car, thanks to Gordon Spooner Engineering and Dave Mountune. It's a front-wheel drive car, hasn't got the same grunt as the 4x4, but looking forward, it should be exciting up the gap with it.
With an in-car camera, racing cyclist Stephen Roach. Stephen, a bit of change of pace for you, but it's not the first time you've done this event.
No, it's drove back in Killarney back in 1989 with a Peugeot 205, but now I'm back with a different car altogether.
Do you enjoy this rallying business?
Well, we've done a bit of racking. We didn't get the best racking done possible because it was a bit of trouble with our racking car, but I'm very happy that I'm here only for the moment.
Thanks a lot. Killarney's bid for European Championship status may not have got off the ground, but the event has always attracted Europeans.
In France, we participate at a little rally, just 35 kilometers stages, but here is very big for us.
Are you excited?
Yes, very. The only goal is to finish.
C'est formidable, Malls Gap. At any time in any season, the fans flock to get their vantage point at this most famous corner and this most famous stage. Number 1 on the road, Kenny McKinstry in the Caliber Dunlop Subaru Legacy, and 3rd fastest in the first test. As the top seeds race over the mountain, Stephen Roach in his Hella Kingdom Motor Factors Escort Cosworth leaves the start. Championship leader Stephen Finlay is learning to live with his new co-driver Philip Mills, and also these new stages to him. Yet he's still 5th fastest. You can see the folly of the FIA seeding system as James Cullen's Group N Escort is caught by Fisher's Group A Subaru. How good is the Impreza? 19 seconds better than anybody else. Roach has now passed the 6-mile bridge and heading up the endless, deceptive twist towards Galway's Bridge. Austin McHale, who lies second to Stephen Finlay in the British Rally Championship, equals McKinstry's time. But then comes the real sensation. Liam O'Callaghan in the Esso Sierra is 2nd fastest on Malls Gap. He's quicker than McHale and McKinstry and a lot quicker than the unfortunate Maher in the 2FM Lombard and Ulster Escort. Frank has blown the turbo on the very first stage. The Boland brothers have rebuilt their Escort following their circuit accident, and Mike Patterson is in a very aggressive form. He's 6th fastest. Now for those memory-teasing corners in the Oak Woods. Stephen's excellent 12th place on the recent Circuit of Kerry rally has given the cycling superstar increased confidence. He will be a very creditable 17th fastest over what many consider to be the most demanding test in the country. Here's another new name, Mickey Farrell, the RG driver who leads the National Rally Championship. Donald O'Donovan is out of luck again. The talented local driver will not make it out of the second stage. And here's the first glimpse of the new Formula 2 Ford. Now we're almost 10,000 feet up and on the final approach to the gap. Anyone who may have doubted Stephen's talent on four wheels can eat their words.
Join me for a ride, speed up the music. Join me for a ride, maximum overdrive. Join me for a ride, speed up the music. Join me for a ride, maximum overdrive.
Again is a famous old circuit stage, but it's new territory for the Carling Rally of the Lakes, and although Fisher's phenomenal run up Mall's Gap gives him the advantage, Finlay has started to reply. Stephen takes back 2 seconds on stage 2, drops one here and equals the Subaru's time on stage 4. Sadly, Liam O'Callaghan's great run comes to an end on stage 4 when the Kanturk driver loses a wheel. This promotes Austin McHale to 3rd. The Toyota driver is already over a minute behind the new Subaru. Kenny McKinstry trails Austin by a further 3 seconds. Hadder Herson in the Tipperary Springwater Back Metro is an impressive 5th. Mike Patterson continues to impress in 6th place in the Ear Sierra. As does Mickey Farrell in his Subaru. Bob Fowden has quickened his pace to move ahead of the National Championship leader. And then we have the Group N leader in the 4 Lanterns Escort, James Cullen. Ian Greer continues to get to know his new Nichols-backed Toyota. And for Enda Nolan, it's a whole new front-wheel drive world in the RS2000, with the Formula 2 cars in 12th place. Stephen Roach on stage 3 is about to encounter other people's problems.
Right 2, 50. Careful, careful. Crest right 2 long. Oh, stage is locked. This will be a bad accident.
Bernard Smith's predictions were correct. Frank Marr's Lombard and Ulster 2FM Escort has been destroyed in a high-speed accident on Gorton again. Fortunately, both Frank and his co-driver, Gareth O'Callaghan, are perfectly all right. Although obviously, judging by the impact on the car, they're badly shaken. On to stage 4, and now Stephen's hopes are about to end up in a Curragh glass ditch, as recorded by Paddy Grace's camcorder. The high-speed frontal impact has surprisingly wrenched off a rear wheel on the Escort. And they limp off slowly to inspect the damage. Declan Wilmot goes through in his hired 6R4 Metro. The damage is bad, and although Stephen is able to get off the stage, he's out of the rally.
Unfortunately, we came out of the rally. We lost the back wheel on the corner. We hit a big stone, and we lost the back wheel. But then we did a little bit of damage to the front of it as well, and we burst an oil radiator. So we were afraid of the car overheating. So we prefer to kind of call it a day than risk the factor of doing the engine in maybe.
Frank, by all reports, you were quite lucky to be able to be clutching your little daughter.
Yeah, we had a major accident there, 120 mile an hour at least. A little over a small bump, and the back of it took off when we left the heavens walked in.
2.5 miles into the stage, everything flowing perfectly. We went into a right 2. Shortly after the right 2, there was a very sharp brow which we had to cut right over. Now we can understand it. We reckon there was gravel on the ground on the brow, which we hadn't anticipated before, and we lost it.
We ended up on its roof. Must have had a roll about 2 or 3 times. But
3 wheels off. Frank lost his door, hurt his elbow. The roll cage bent over the windscreen.
Our budget was put together for the year to run the car and build it, and now we're left with a situation where we probably need a new shell.
What we were hoping would be a great weekend and we were out for a win just turned into a disastrous couple of days.
Kilcummin and Fisher will lose 16 seconds to Finlay due to a costly overshoot. This reduces Bertie's lead over the pilot driver to 13 seconds. We now have a real rally on our hands. The Calibre Subaru is also being driven to its limits, as we can dramatically see. But Kenny's main concern is third place, which he has just regained. Kenny is having an intense battle with Austin McHale for that position. But both are now a minute behind the Fisher-Finlay tussle, and it would seem that once again technology has moved up a gear, as there is not much either of these fine drivers can do about the leaders. Paddy Harrison, wisely cautious here, has his own problems, as both Mike Patterson and Bob Fowden, seen here, are on the same minute in the battle for 5th place. Eamon Boland is knocking on the top 10 in his similar Escort Cosworth. And Ian Greer, now 12th, is getting a little too adventurous. Enda Nolan seems to have the bad habit as well. And Cathal Arthurs, lying in an excellent 15th place overall, almost loses the Eurocables escort. Martin Daly, navigated by his wife, can always be relied on to entertain the huge crowds. His sideways style is both entertaining and effective, as he's in 16th place. Another all arms and elbows merchant, Finton McGrady. And Campbell Adams lies in 2nd place in Group N. Willie Singleton fires his blue gas escort up through Kilcommon village. But sadly, David Greer is having a miserable event, although he's certainly trying, as is JJ Fleming. Andrew Carney, the current Dunlop Junior champion, has had transmission problems. But there is a ferocious battle going on for the 94 title between Hugh Doherty's Toyota and Mark Doyle's little NIIB-sponsored Nova. We can now experience the Kilcommon stage from inside Kevin McCarthy's Mac 2's Peugeot, with Pat Dwyer on the notes.
Square left. One right, one left, 2 left.
This adventurous pair lead their class in the Dunlop Championship.
3 right, 5 left. Easy. 5 right, square right. 40, long square left. Long square left tight over bridge. Into 2 right. 2 right.
But we're not finished with the Kilcommon stage yet, as about to appear is Circuit of Ireland hero Kieran O'Neill. Fourth on the circuit, but sadly no result in Killarney. Despite their furious efforts, the bodywork will not budge. And as Sean Hurley goes through, Kieran accepts the inevitable, giving it up.
There's no point going on. We got a puncher in the 2nd stage and we lost 5 minutes. We're just sticking our neck out and it's not worth it. The car's not capable on the dry lap. Just can't get on them big wide tyres. So that was unfortunate. It wasn't as bad that gravel when we were tracking our notes now. Life goes on, but we'll be in Donegal. Go to a bar.
Day 2 on the Carling Rally of the Lakes. The weather's cooler, but not the pace. In this, the hottest round of the Dunlop Tarmac Championship so far this season. Fisher is now on very familiar territory. Malls Gap, Ballochbema, Cara Lake and Churchtown. And he's throwing his mobile Toughmac Impreza into these stages with gay abandon. This is Fisher at his very best. He's been fastest in 6 of the 9 stages yesterday, and he's taken another 20 seconds out of Finlay on his 2nd run up the gap. But make no mistake about it, this is a fabulous drive from the Killarney novice Stephen Finlay. Stephen is keeping the pressure on the rally leader, despite his lack of knowledge of the Kerry stages. But any chance the young Ballygawley man had of taking his 2nd tarmac victory in succession is evaporating, as Bertie has taken victory here for the last 4 years on exactly the same roads. Whoa, that was a close one. Kenny has quickened up today too. He sets second fastest time on Mall's Gap as his raging war with Austin McHale continues. With the 4 top men still in the event, it seems that the whole country has come to see this epic event. On Churchtown, Kenny goes to the top of the charts for the first time. Austin has had his problems. A fuel leak and a headache caused by the fumes on the first day, and a return of that old brake problem in the Toyota. Now his turbo intercooler is giving trouble, causing the engine to overheat with a subsequent loss of power. Still, he holds on to that 4th place. Pater Herson is another Killarney novice. This is the first time that the Warren Point driver has experienced the daunting Kerry stages. But that inexperience doesn't show here as the 1992 national champion battles to retain his 5th place. Although he has a close encounter with the straw bales. But he has to press on as Bob Fowden is now in a charge and he's just a minute behind the Metro driver. Fowden has in fact moved ahead of Mickey Farrell to take 6th place. Farrell has adapted quickly to the Subaru, and with only a minute and a half separating 5th and 8th places, there's a great 2nd division battle taking place, which also involves Mike Patterson. Eamon Boland has made it into the top 10 in the Hertz Escort. James Cullen and Ellen Morgan, despite breaking their 2nd expensive gearbox in the event, are 9th, the comfortable leaders in Group N. Ian Greer is having a battle with Luke McCarthy for 11th place. It's certainly keeping Ian's wife on her toes. Luke McCarthy is great to watch as he battles to head the 2-wheel drive honours in his rear-wheel drive Sierra. But Enda Nolan in the front-wheel drive Escort built by Gordon Spooner is only 10 seconds behind. Enda and the new Formula 2 car are impressive. And where's John Price been in this rally? The Welshman, try as he always does in the Duckham 6R4, has been hampered with a down-on-power engine. Jim Crozier and Paddy Reid in their Opel 16-valve engine Manta have been battling with Martin Daly for the 2-litre modified class, and in the closing stages they move ahead of the husband and wife crew. Eugene O'Donnell and Paul McLaughlin, despite breaking a windscreen earlier in the event, bring their Wilson Sportswear Astra home to another class win. As do Donald Bowen and Enda Shield. Andrew Carney and Jim Crow are the Class 6 winners, full marks for perseverance. And Noel O'Sullivan and Don Robbie take Class 9. Miles Chamberlain and Andrew Allen, despite being passed here by Matt Schumann, were the Class 2 victors. Now that junior championship battle. Hugh Docherty and Michael Gibson scorch up Moll's Gap. While on board with the Doyle brothers, who are giving chase, we're just passing our camera point.
Square left, 5 right. Into a hairpin left, 40. Into a long 5 right. 40 over crest.
Hugh Docherty at the Gap has started the stage with a 31-second advantage over the brothers from Guildford.
And the left over crest jump 5 left. 100. And the 2
Mark
right
is
over
giving the
crest
little
jump
1300cc
45
Nova
right.
everything. But it won't be enough.
5 right.
By the end of the event, the Gap is down to 20 seconds,
5
so
right.
Docherty takes the honours.
4 left.
Still, Mark and Rory win their class and retain their lead in the junior and Group N sections of the Tarmac Championship.
The historic runners were graced with the presence of the former World Rally champion Björn Waldegård on the left, who would drive Beattie Crawford's gorgeous Porsche 911. Beattie, this has become a very interesting hobby of yours.
Well, it's something I really enjoy. As you know, I rallied in the 60s and 70s with Adrian Boyd and Ronnie McCartney and various other top-class drivers.
But your list of drivers since that has been really most impressive. Can you remind us of them?
Well, first was Stig Blomqvist, another Swedish driver and former world champion. And then Björn Waldegård, who was with me in this event, and we did the 1000 Lakes historic rally last year. We were second in that event. And then Walter Rory, and we did the RAC Britannia rally last November in Francis Tuttle's car.
Who else is on your hit list?
Well, I haven't really thought about that. I think I'm doing pretty well so far.
You know, I hardly stopped in my normal career before I was invited to drive an old Porsche again. And you know, that was the way it started. I mean, my first professional contract was with Porsche 1969. So it was normal to immediately go back to a Porsche when it was possible. But I'm very, very surprised or impressed how well the Porsche still compete and how fantastic it is. So it was well advanced 25 years ago.
Björn didn't disappoint, dominating the historic event from start to finish as he powered Beattie's Francis Tuttle prepared 911 in a masterclass of rally driving to a 2-minute lead over his classic rivals. Sean Campbell and David Gray certainly didn't disgrace the local drivers, shadowing the Swedish ace all the way and no doubt enjoying being in such elevated company. Jeff Crabtree took 3rd place in another Porsche. After Desi Nutt, the historic championship leader, retired, and Mervyn Johnston unusually crashed out on Ballochbima's stage. So the mini honours went to Ray and Frank Cunningham from Galway. Drexel Gillespie and Maurice Beckett brought their Mark II Lotus Cortina home 4th, with Sean Tracy and Dennis O'Mahony 5th in the Lancia. But Frank Fennell managed to modify Drew Wiley's MGB considerably.
It's all over now, bar the celebrations. Or is it? Kevin McCarthy in the Mac Tools Peugeot drives back towards Killarney. Kevin has had a difficult weekend following his excursion into the bank on Saturday morning. He gets 3rd in his class to retain his championship lead.
150, 1 right, 150. 2 right, 130.
And so the Rally of the Lakes goes to Bertie Fisher and Rory Kennedy. Incredibly, it's Bertie's 5th win in succession, and in doing so, he surpasses the great Billy Coleman's record. Stephen Finlay and Philip Mills consolidate their lead in the Dunlop Tarmac Championship with their second place in the Pilot Escort. And Kenny McKinstry and Robbie Philpott have been in cracking form today, taking 4 fastest times and 3rd overall in the rally. Austin McHale and Brian Murphy have battled all the way, but as Connolly's camcorder shows at the end of Cara Lake, things can get a little back to front. Quick thinking here as Austin finishes the stage in reverse. Patter Harrison and Ian Porter are heading for 5th. But it'll be a close run thing. Once again, Connolly's camcorder is on the scene. Harrison will finish, but not so Bob Fowden, who crashed out heavily on this stage.
The wheel of fortune has turned again for Bertie Fisher. After a non-finish in Galway and a non-appearance on the Circuit of Ireland, he opens his defence of the Tarmac Championship with a maximum score in Killarney. But his undoubted danger is the new man, Finlay, who's been in the top 3 places on the first 3 events of the season.
Congratulations, both of you. Absolutely amazing. Talk about King of the Kingdom.
Yeah, we've had a good run, Plum. We came here probably a little bit apprehensive, under a lot of pressure to do well. New car, no points in the championship. And, you know, we had it all to do. Car has obviously been fantastic. ProDrive have just given us the machine to win the rally. Sydney and the boys have run it, obviously, very, very well. There hasn't been a problem. They've put oil in it, put water in it, and put tyres on it, and that's how it's been going all weekend. And from about 2 miles into Moll's Gap at 8 o'clock yesterday morning, you know, I knew we could win the rally because the car was just fantastic.
Moll's Gap, I think, won the rally really, but we're happy. Every other stage, some of the stages were beating Bertie and some of them were equaling, but we enjoyed it.
James, I'm glad to say you've won Group N again. It's been a while.
It's the first time we smiled all weekend. It's nice to get a one under our belt again, like, you know, after the disappointment of the circuit and Galway and all that, and it's been a very tough rally for us.
Björn, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You've enjoyed it, have you?
It has been 2 fantastic days. Okay. Good driving, good motoring.
First taste, as we know, of Irish rallying. How do you analyse it all?
It's great. I mean, I heard a lot about Ireland and their roads, and now I know it's different from everything.
Finlay's 15-point lead could be very useful at the end of the year, but with McKinstry, McHale and now Fisher well in the points, it promises to be a classic season.